Hi guys, I am Apoc from Team Daedalus, and I am going to be starting a new series of guides, basically competitive class guides in a nutshell. They're going to detail what you need to know about each class, what their roles are, techniques the class uses, general comp knowledge that you need to get into the comp scene. Basically, I'm aiming for a guide that for someone to watch it, they'll have all the information they need to know about how to play the class, and then the rest is up to them to practice and become attuned to the general workings of the class, and build on your awareness and things, because obviously this isn't going to make you an instantly good player. It basically just puts you a lot of players aren't really sure what to do when they start playing mixes, and if they're in teams, if they haven't really had any competitive experience. So this will hopefully give you everything you need to know to get you going. First guide I'm going to be doing is the soldier. Now, I am an offense player normally, but I thought I'd start with the soldier because it's a very popular class and it's a very important class. It is a defense class though. The Raider, Juggernaut, Infiltrator are all much better at offense, in a nutshell, basically. So they always get chosen to go at offense, whereas the soldier is a much better defense player. And it is a very good defense player, mainly because of its versatility. Basically, there's three main roles of the soldier, and that is playing on stand, on flag. Then you've got close roaming, flag defense, and roaming defense. And I'll go into those after. But first, we'll start off with perk choices. Okay, so if you're playing with reach, then you're going to need reach, bottom line, because you don't want to lose out on a flag return or let someone return your flag just because you haven't got a perk. In competition, every flag capture is extremely important, and so just that one perk can save you so many caps that you'd be surprised how often it messes up if you don't have it. So that reach for your primary. If you're playing without reach, then by all means go for something like safety third, or if you're playing against a good strike pilot, maybe close. What's it called? The one that cuts off your. Oh, safe fall. That's the one. Yeah, where it stops as much strike vehicle damage. As your secondary perk, there's two main ones basically. You've got quick draw, which is much more suited for dueling and much better for, say, playing the roaming role, which I'll go into later. And you have super heavy, which is very good for body blocking. Now, body blocking is the first skill that I'm going to be talking about. It's essential for any flag D soldier, and it's one of the most effective ways, if not the most effective way, of stopping a Kappa. They need to be going over about 140 for you to do any sort of serious damage. Anything over 200, you're going to kill them just on impact. Basically the way it works is the more speed they have when they hit you, the more damage it does, which works very well against Kappas, obviously. Anyone going over 200, as I say, you'll kill. And really, it's what the offense of the other team is trying to stop you from doing. They're going to be trying to disrupt you, trying to stop you from seeing Kappas coming in, so you can't body block them. And if you do body block them, then effectively the offense of the other team hasn't done their job, or you've countered their offense very well. It's often a lot easier to block people at high speed, mainly because at high speed you can't really change your height very easily. Whereas you'll often get caught out by a lot of slower Kappas who you jump up to try and body block them, and they're so slow that they can actually dip under you by the time that you've gone up, and then you miss it and you look like an idiot. But we'll try and focus on the fast ones because you should be able to chase down the slow ones anyway. In terms of practicing body blocks, you just got to try and keep doing it. Go onto servers with lots of people, lots of Kappas, and just try and body block them. The other method of stopping a Kappa that's very effective is air mailing, basically. It sounds
pretty hard, but it's actually a lot easier than, say, in a duel, because they are coming a very definite way. The speed that they're coming means that they're going to stay fairly on the same level, and you can pretty much fire and hit them within the second. It's not any sort of long thing. It takes a lot of work and it does require good aim, but it's also very effective. And the nice thing is, if you do it together with the body blocking, but you shoot before, then you can't really go wrong, because if you hit them and miss the body block, then they're leaving with like 100 health and you can finish them off. If you miss them and then hit the body block, then they're dead. Okay, so really it's a nice insurance, and it means that to really screw up, you're going to have to miss both the shot and the body block, which you should try not to do. Tampa does 770, which is definitely enough. I know a lot of people say you should use a spin fuser. Most of those people don't play comp. I'll go into the thinking behind why the thumper and assault rifle in a little bit, but basically 770 is absolutely fine. It's more than enough, and the knockback is definitely enough to send someone. Quite often it can send people out of the way of the flag altogether. If not, then it can slow them down. If you hit someone, then it will slow them down. But because of this, basically, just hitting the stand before they're coming in, just as they're passing, is just as effective often. You won't get the 770 damage, you'll probably get around 500, but if you hit in front of them, it's going to slow them down, it's going to do a lot of damage, and if you can't body block and you can't airmail, then that's a much better alternative to not doing anything at all. Quite often it'll kill them if they took damage, or if your team's been chaining them, or if you've got a half-decent sniper. If you have got a half-decent sniper, then any damage at all is going to help. Obviously the sniper's going to have a hard time if it's a fast Kappa killing him with like all by himself, so any damage you can do will help. Killing him, great. Okay, so I was just saying that dumping the stand is a good way to stop people capping your flag, or at least damage them. But as you just saw, proxy grenades are also great. I use proxy grenades, some people use the XL frags, and some people use the AP grenades. It's really a matter of choice, but I like the proximities just because you can just throw them into the way of a Kappa, and it's 500 damage, and quite often knocks them off course. It's really nice. It's like an extra insurance instead of the thumper, and it's got a lot less, a lot more room for error because it's got a massive splash radius. So yeah, it's really nice. Now I'm going to start talking about standoffs. I won't really go into massive detail. I'm going to put a link in the description to Arthur's standoff guide, because he did a really thorough, really detailed guide that I can't really fault at all, and you'll do well to read that because it tells you everything you need to know. I'll also not go into it overly because it's not really a soldier specific thing. You can be at a standoff in any class. Standoffs are basically when both teams have the flag, and both teams sort of have an established hold. So as you can see now, my team has got the flag, and he's decided to run behind my base, absolutely miles away from anyone. I can't help him from here. No one on my team can help him, and unsurprisingly, he got killed by the offensive trying to hunt him down. What you need to do in standoffs is you need to find a place where you've got some sort of terrain-based advantage, like on a hill where you can see everything coming. You need to group up, you need to have some sort of strategy. You also need to pass the flag to the person with the highest health. Keep passing it, apart from obviously if they're right next to you. Offense are going to probably do a coordinated attack and try and EMP, what's it called? Not EMP, not EMP, Nitron it out of your hands. And you're going to have a lot of offense on your hands basically, so you need to be coordinated. You need to see everyone who's coming in, and you need to be aware of infiltrators. A lot of infiltrators are doing very well now on returns by just simply going invisible and sonic punching the flag out of the person's hand on a standoff before they're like completely unawares. So it might not be the worst idea in the world to drop a drop jammer or maybe a raider switch jammer pack if your friends are down. But yeah, that's basically what you want to do. Just stay together and focus, call your targets, focus fire, prioritize pathfinders because they'll go down quickly and also they will make you drop the flag and they can thrust back into it to fight. So it's extremely dangerous in standoffs.
Okay, so back onto flag defense. Basically, what I'm going to talk about now is when to return the flag and when not to return the flag. It's very important, and it's usually something that will come with time. But there are some very distinct moments that you need to sort of pay attention to. If there's a Kappa coming at your flag and your team is telling you there's a Kappa coming at your flag, do not return it. I'm sure that's common sense. Also, if there's someone coming for you and trying to re-grab the flag, then return the flag. Two simple things, obvious. But quite often, there's a really nice opportunity. I think it's coming up now. You get a nice airmail, and the flag just drops to the side. And so, basically, after I've cleared off the defender, I can then thumper the flag into a position where it's going to be really horrible to pick up, and if they do pick it up, they're not going to be able to pick it up with any speed. Essentially, it keeps the flag safe for the full timeout, which is usually 30 seconds. So it's a really nice tactic to use. You can stand guard, and it's a lot easier to defend with the flag stand, especially if it's in that sort of thing. Okay, so basically, the reason that I choose, and every other comp soldier chooses the AR over the spinfuse a pistol is basically this. The AR is so much better than the pistol over range, and it's just too valuable. You see in this clip, I just kill the guy from absolutely miles away, use it to chase away, and it's just you can't sacrifice it for that sort of. You know, it's just not worth it. It's too valuable, and although the spin fuser probably is a bit better damage wise and it shoots straight, which makes it easier to mid-air, it's still not quite good enough to make you choose it over it. Also, the thumper moves very fast and is a lot easier to thump at the stand when they come in. Here is an example of thumping someone off course to hilarious results. Yeah, so basically now I'm going to be talking about what happens when teams often will coordinate their capping routes. So you'll see here I spot a Kappa coming in and I'm thinking, okay, I've got him, I'm going to thump the stand, but then some Kappa comes in and steals it right under my nose. Luckily I get a perfect mid-air and then finish him off, but that's not always the case, and really there is nothing you can do against it apart from having one person on your team getting the one guy and one person going for the other, or just being prepared for the chase. Dropping lots of proxy nades will work because they basically just go off whenever anyone goes over them. But yeah, it's something that you can't overly counter if it's a really nice coordinated attack, but if you've got two people alive you should be able to cope fine, and you should at least be able to damage the Kappa. Right, but that's mainly all the topics, apart from, well, that's all the topics to do with Flag D, which is basically one of the most important positions, where you basically sat on the flag, and it's your job to stop the Kappas. Now, the other positions I was talking about for Soldier were close roaming and roaming D. Close roaming is essentially like a secondary flag D, but with a bit more emphasis on killing the offense. The offense is going to be coming in and they're going to be a big issue. They're going to be trying to kill you all, and if you ignore them, they're just going to wipe you out and the Kappa's going to come through and grab it. So really you need to go and kill them. Your role as close roaming D, as I'll call it, is basically
you kill all the. You're putting more of a focus on the offense coming in. You're going to be shooting them, trying to stop them from disrupting your main flag defender. But also you're going to be watching out for the Kappa as well. So you might be trying to thump at the stand, try to go for the secondary body block. But whereas the flag D is almost always centered around the flag, he can move off it and move around it, but he's a lot closer pinned to it. And even when the flag gets taken away, he needs to stay on the stand. Whereas the close roaming can he can do a bit of chasing if he wants, and he's really the bodyguard for the flag D. And if the flag D dies, then he takes up his job. Roaming D is a lot more open. Your job is only to kill the offense. You can go away from the flag stand, you can run around. If you're against heavy offense, then they're going to be doing it from range, and so you're going to have to go and meet them. A lot of people play Raider as their roaming D, just because it's a very strong fragging class, but Soldier with quick draw is equally as effective, just because quick draw means that you can quickly switch between AR and Thumper very fast, and what that allows you to do is basically stop them from putting any sort of counter dueling tactics in. What I mean by that is when people are SMGing, people will often go to the ground and start strafing, and when people are using explosive weapons, people will go in the air. And so what quick draw allows you to do on Soldier is you start shooting them with the AR, they go to the floor and start strafing, you quick switch to the Thumper and shoot them, and it's 500 damage or 700 damage if you hit them. They fly up again, you quick switch to the AR and start getting them down in the air, where it's a lot easier to hit them. You can keep doing this.
So some nice tips actually for using the Thumper and assault rifle with quick draw. There's a thing that not many people know about called inactive reload. It was updated in a patch, reduced a bit, and it's actually really good in conjunction with the quick draw perk. Basically, it reloads while you're not using it, but the time that it takes it's exactly 5 seconds, and I sort of worked it out a bit to try and put a use to this because it seemed like a good idea. And basically, if you fire a Thumper at someone, switch straight away to your AR and fire an entire clip of the AR, let it reload. The second it's reloaded, you can switch back to your Thumper and fire again, and it will be reloaded. The other way is if you shoot with the AR, empty a clip say, and you switch to the Thumper, you can fire 3 Thumper shots, and by the time the third one's reloaded, switch back to the AR, and that'll be fully reloaded. It's really nice, maximises your DPS. It's great just in general because everyone else is reloading against you. You basically get more damage potential than them. It's just a nice tip that can easily turn the tide of battle, and lets you hit those really quick mid-air shots when you need to. Okay, well I think that's it. I am sorry about. I know my mic is being a bit weird. I think it's basically it tries to auto balance my voice, and I know I go a bit loud at some points and a little bit quiet, and I think whenever I get loud it decides it wants to try and quiet me to sort of balance it out. So I'll try and find a fix for that for the next one, but hopefully I have been just about audible. I think my next video will be the Raider, which is my speciality. I can play Soldier, but I am especially good at Raider, and I'll probably use some mix footage or some an actual match footage, which should be helpful, hopefully. Yeah, so if you have any additional questions to do with the Soldier, then please write them. If you have any tips about what I could do to improve these videos, write them in the comments. I appreciate everything. And yeah, thanks for watching the Soldier competitive guide. See you next time.